You ever get one of those figures that just hits the spot on what you're looking for? Like a wish list of things that a specific toy is supposed to do, and you get a figure that just meets that? It's so satisfying. That's what this is to me. I never had that much of a connection to Blaster until I had a few comic fans tell me about how much of a badass he was in the Marvel comics, and then when I actually went out to buy those comics and read them myself, that showed me the Blaster I liked more. Cartoon Blaster has its place, but not for me. I like Marvel Blaster, and this just feels a lot like what Marvel Blaster was, a brute that has a weird visor thing and looks like you could kick some ass. Apologies for the stuffy nose, by the way. My allergies are not doing well today. This is the Takara Legends version, and bro, this looks epic. Huge thanks to Bai for helping me get this. This is not they didn't directly sponsor this video, but you know, I should still probably thank them. I was super looking forward to getting the Hasbro version at TFCon, which is tomorrow, but once I got the Takara one, I love this figure. Easily top 20 of this year so far. This guy is chunky, and I know that kind of look isn't for everyone, and it doesn't quote-unquote scale with mainline G1, but like G1 the scale is iffy at best, so for me, I don't care. I love the legs. The paintwork Takara gave on this guy is really good. The silver trim around the downward facing speakers is pretty neat. I am not a big fan of how the front facing drivers split to form the legs. It just looks weird to me seeing speakers split in two. The tooling on this guy, it might seem a bit too simple for some, and while I think some parts could have used a bit more greebling, it's not bad. I love the toy sticker detail on the shoulders, and I'm glad it doesn't actually use stickers like a lot of the other Titans Return toys did at the time. The chest plate is very pleasing on the eye. That shade of yellow with the Autobot badge, large and proud on the front, it's very nice. I love the way it looks. He has a dumpy. Just figured I'd mention that. The gun is a bit dinky. I feel like it needed to be bigger, and I wish it had better storage than just peg in on the side of the back there. Would have loved to see like an angled storage, which would have been cool. Like, you know how the Mandalorian has his rifle on his back, like that. The head does something interesting. While not successfully fully, it's still a neat attempt. The eyes on the headmaster weren't gonna reach the visor portion without making it look like a stormtrooper's helmet, so they made the blue eyebrows go behind the visor to make it look like he has some blue behind there. Not sure how intentional that was, but it's a valiant effort. It does kind of work at giving the visor some color behind it, which I do appreciate. The Titan Master also is twin cast, which is epic, and apparently Soundwaves' Sound Blaster, the Takara Legends version, that's also pretty cool. The ankle pivot on other people's copies doesn't quite lock into place from what I've been told. Mine seems to be fine, but that is something to note. I don't know if that's a Takara versus Hasbro thing that they fixed, but I've heard that when you put him down, his feet will kind of just bow out on the Hasbro one. His tape gimmick is also super satisfying. Pressing the blue button on the top pops open his chest panel, and this white thing in it, it's supposed to act like a remote for the boombox mode. There's a play button on it. Yes, War for Cybertron tapes do fit, but like, why would you want to do that? I just love how easy it slides in and closes up. It's a lot more satisfying to me than the Kingdom one. Like, I see Kingdom's appeal, but it's slowly grown off me. And this one came right in to fill that gap. I'm still keeping the Kingdom one because I think it's cool. Like, it is still a pretty good figure, but not enough for me to want to get the Shattered Glass one. I ended up canceling that pre-order, and this one I just think is a lot better. Posing is very Titan's Return, no wrist, no waist, but he does have ankle tilts that rock forward and back and tilt side to side, meaning that he has a lot of nice foot posability, and that is such a breath of fresh air. A lot of Transformers are given ankle tilts but don't get the forward and back motion, and I feel like that's really important, and this guy has it. It's really nice. I've also been messing with Monocrat Megatank quite a bit, and he doesn't have any forward or back at the feet and desperately needs it, so this one, you know, seeing this here is really cool. Transformation is very simple and honestly pretty fun as a fidget toy. You can just flip it back and forth with ease, but I also like how the legs just kind of eat everything when they transform. It's really cool. One thing though, so the Takara one comes with the ramps detached, and I put them on and his transformation doesn't work. It's weird because my friend has the Hasbro one with the ramps that work perfectly fine, but I put my ramps on mine the same way his ramps are attached, doing everything correct, and they just don't tab in. I think I need to trim the tabs a little bit, but something just does not want to work. I put them in and they push everything out of place. The Titan Master has nowhere to go in the boombox. You can seat him in the remote, which is fine, but you can insert him into the back of the remote as the battery for the remote, and it slides into the tape deck, and that's really cool. And now you can either use the remote or put it in the chest, and the Titan Master hides away. I love that. I don't know if that was intentional for him to be a battery, but he goes right where batteries would go, which is just super cool. Boombox mode is great. Here it is with an actual boombox, just because. I love the size of the forward drivers. They look like they can carry some sick sound, although the thinness of the player would leave less bass perhaps if this was real. That's just an observation. The knee speakers do end up at the bottom, which is a bit disappointing. I wish they ended up on the side or something so you could actually see them, because the detail gets lost and they're very nicely done, so that's a bit unfortunate. He can still do the tape thing and the handle is actually usable, but that's all it really does. Is what I would say if the Titans Return team didn't add a little bit of flair into the alt mode. You move some flaps out, attach the remote to the top, flip out some screens, plug in the ramps, because mine don't work, and you get an actually decent bass mode. This looks neat. It's a lot better than some of the other Titans Return bass modes and actually provides a lot more play value. My little 7-year-old cousin was over when I got this, and I got him deep cover for like, because they were visiting, and he was using this as an actual bass to play with deep cover, which is brilliant. You have loads of connection points for guns and Titan Masters, a seat in the chest section to put someone, and the old ramp style connectors that can connect with other bases. Seriously, why did they change the ramp connectors? Keep a standard so all your toys can connect. I don't get it. He also has base connectors on his dump truck so you can connect by the ass to other things. Sure. I don't know why those are there. It's a very fun experience. I can see why many people prefer the Kingdom one to this toy, but as a toy that's meant to be played with, I feel like this offers a lot more. And in a display, well, it depends on what fits your needs. This meets mine a lot more than the Kingdom one did, and I'm super happy with it. This sealed was 35 bucks, so you can find this for cheap if you know where to look, but I would definitely recommend it. I see the appeal of the Kingdom one. I know a lot of my friends really like the Kingdom one too, and they're keeping that over the Titans Return version, but for me, this just hits the spot. It's so satisfying how much it just fits right into what I wanted. But that's my look at Titans Return / Takara Legends Blaster. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.